Last video we talked about trades. This video we're going to be talking about our team's performance, specifically individuals, how they're playing offensively, defensively, how they're doing. We're about 30 games into the season. It's a good checkpoint to see how everybody's doing. So today I'm specifically really going to be looking at plus minus. I really like that stat, and I think it tells a lot about how the players are doing when they're on the court, if the team is doing well when they're on the court, if the team is doing better when they're off the court, if a lot of people are scoring on them, if they're holding even, if they're negative. So first we're going to talk about some of the guys who are struggling. The first guy is Zubac. His plus minus is a -5. It's the worst on the team. Pretty much when he's in the game, a lot of people are going to the basket on him. His foot speed is slow. He can't get over in time to stop him. A -4.8 really isn't that good. I'm kind of giving him a pass since he's a 19-year-old rookie from overseas, and he's adjusting to the game, and he is playing a lot. He's playing almost 25 minutes a game right now for us, so it's a big adjustment for a guy like that. The other guy who's really struggling is Jordan Clarkson. He's a -4.8. So pretty much everybody's getting around Clarkson. I have been noticing that on defense. He really can't get in front or stop anybody. And when Clarkson's guarding somebody and Zubac is in the paint, it's pretty much a highway to the basket between those two guys, because Clarkson can't stop anybody, and Zubac isn't going to get over to block him or stop him. And if he does, they're just going to go right into his chest, put it up, draw that foul on Zubac. Those two guys have been struggling. The other guy who is kind of surprising, and this is why I'm wondering about the stat, but I can kind of make up for it, is Nwaba has the third worst plus minus on the team. And that's kind of surprising because I do like this stat, but at the same time, when I think about it, Nwaba pretty much is always in on the team's best defender best scorer, best player. And when they go out, he goes out. When they come back in, he comes back in. So he's guarded James Harden, Russell Westbrooks, Kawhi Leonard's, the Paul George. He's guarded some of the top players in the league in the videos that you guys have seen. And, that's going to take a toll on your plus minus, even if you are a really good defender like Nwaba is. I wonder if Nwaba wasn't guarding him and I was using somebody else, how bad theirs would be. But that's my excuse for Nwaba's plus minus being so bad. I don't like it, but I do realize he is guarding the other team's best players, and it's not going to be great. He is a rookie guarding the other team's best players. He's going to struggle. He's not going to shut them down completely, but I feel like he is still slowing them down, and it's not as bad as it would be if it were somebody else. Now I want to talk about the best plus minuses on the team. The best plus minus on the team goes to Mozgov, which is kind of surprising, but then when I think about it, it's not, because Mozgov has kind of dropped off this year. He's really not the player that he was the past few years, but at the same time, he's only 30. He is a veteran in this league. He's 7'1". He's been around. He kind of knows how to defend the paint. His plus minus is a -0.8, which I know that's still bad, and for that to be the best on our team, it shows that we're not the greatest team defensively. I mean, we haven't won a lot of games. We are a lottery team, so none of our guys' plus minus are going to be great, but I'm hoping he can get that up to even. I'm hoping by the end of the season we'll have a few players that even, possibly. It is kind of surprising that Mozgov is the best plus minus on our team. But then when I think about it, Mozgov doesn't play a ton. When he is playing, he's playing with the starting lineups. He starts the game. He starts at halftime. He'll finish the ends of quarters and stuff. He's not playing a ton of time, but when he's in, he is being effective, is what that's showing. The second best plus minus on the team goes to Tyler Ennis, and it's just showing Tyler Ennis is really working his way to stay on this team. He's got the second best plus minus on the team. It's a -1, so it's not that much worse than Mozgov, but it's a lot better than other players on this team. So really, he's showing defensively, even though he's only 6'3", and he looks like he's only like 6 foot, he's really holding up on the defensive end too. He's known as an offensive player, as a scorer, and a lot of times those guys aren't really good on defense, but he's proving that he's playing on the defensive end too. So he was proving to me offensively earlier in the season that he needs to stay on this team, and now that's really showing me defensively he needs to stay on this team. And when I do think about it, he is tough to get around. His foot speed is really quick, so he's really bringing it on both ends of the court, and I really like it. I like what I'm seeing from Ennis. He just keeps on proving to me that he deserves to stay on this team, and even maybe next year stay on the team, and not to get traded and not to get cut this year. So he's really making room for himself. And then the third best plus minus on the team is Nick Young. Not really surprising, kind of our veteran wing. Can shoot, can play D. This is why the other teams like him. It's only a -1.5, so obviously he's doing something on the defensive end. He's playing solid defense, so a contending team would really like that, for him to bring that defense to their team. and he also brings that shooting. So those are the best 3 and the worst 3 plus minuses on the team right now. A lot of our other guys are like right in the middle. They're anywhere from -2 to -2.5 to -3. But when you're a lottery team, like I already said we are, you're not going to have a lot of guys. When you're losing a lot of games, not a lot of guys are going to be positive. By the end of the season, I'm hoping that we can have maybe 2 or 3 or 4 guys positive, show some improvement from now. That's kind of why we're checking in now. So then we'll go back at the end of the season and we'll check what improvements these guys made. What guys went from bad defenders to good? What guys got worse at defending? What guys were already good and got better? D'Angelo Russell, Ingram, Randall, and Dang, they're all solid defenders, all like -2s, right around the -2. So they're not. I mean, that's still not good, but they're not getting killed. Larry Nance Jr. isn't good. He's like a -3. You already know Clarkson's bad, and those are pretty much the rest of the guys. Brewers isn't really. His is like a -3, but he only played like 5. He averages 5 minutes a game, but he's only played like 5 games, so I wouldn't even count that. So just the rest of our team is kind of in the middle. We'll kind of see where they go. It's kind of telling me I'm surprised Nance's isn't worse, because Nance has really struggled defensively. I'm surprised D'Angelo's isn't better. I've kind of thought he's been playing solid on the point guards. Ingram's is kind of I thought his was going to be a little worse because he does get scored on a lot. The picks, he has trouble getting around. Randall's I thought might be a little better because his defensive versatility is really good, and he's been playing solid defensively, and it's not the best. But, plus minus it's not the greatest thing, but I think on here it's the best thing to tell how they're playing. So that's kind of how the rest of the team looks right now. That's pretty much going to do it for this video. If you're wondering about Papanikolaou or Antetokounmpo, they've really only played about 5 games with our team, because when I first signed them, I took some time to really just get them in the gym and get shots up. So then when I finally did play them, they would look okay. They wouldn't just come in and be lost. And Antetokounmpo, you see him in this video, he does play solid. He's on Leonard a little bit. I like his defense. I think him and Nwaba are our 2 defenders. I like having 2 wings who can defend, and then hopefully they can end up shooting the 3, so then they can be 3-and-D wings. I really like always having one guy on the court at that time, so always having either Nwaba or Antetokounmpo. As you see in this video, they each take turns guarding Leonard. Leonard still has a really good game. I mean, these guys are young, and Leonard is a top 5 player in the league right now, so they're not going to be able to shut him down. I think they're doing better than some of the other guys on our team would do. Anyways, in the next video, looking forward, I think we're finally going to make some trades because we are getting close to the deadline. So check back in the next video for those trades, maybe, possibly, probably. And I want to thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next video.